In this demonstration, I'm going to show you how to create an Oracle Generative AI agent in less than 10 minutes. But what is a Generative AI agent? A Generative AI agent is a fully managed service that combines the power of a large language model with your business data, essentially allowing you to bring your business data to life by creating contextually relevant answers that search internal knowledge bases, making your AI application smart and efficient. In this example, I'm going to use publicly accessible data on UK transport policy. However, in the real world, this would be your internal policies, procedures and guidance that help employees to do their jobs more effectively. Now, the first step in this procedure is to create a storage bucket and upload the business data that you wish to create a knowledge base from. So to do this, we will go within to the OCI console, select storage, and then go to buckets. And from here, we will create a new bucket. I'll give this bucket a name. As we use in transport data, I'm going to call this transport data. Now, once the bucket has been successfully created, the next step for me to do is to go into the bucket and upload the objects. In this specific case, I'm uploading some data on UK transport policy, but as I touched upon earlier, this would be business data that's internal to your organisation in the real world. So that data is now being in the process of uploaded to the storage bucket. Now that we've got the data uploaded, we can create a knowledge base using the uploaded data. And the way that we do that is to go within OCI, Analytics and AI, select the Generative AI service, follow the first step, which is to create a knowledge base. I'll give the knowledge base a name. So in this case, I'm going to call it Transport Knowledge Base. Then select the data store type. I'm pulling from object storage, enable hybrid search, and then select the data to pull in. In this specific case, I am going to select the transport data bucket that I just created and uploaded data to. And once that's been created, the knowledge base will then be ready. A key thing to point out here is the reason for me enabling hybrid search is that provides the ability to do semantic and lexical search. Now that the knowledge base has been created, the final step for us is to create an agent that we can interact with the knowledge base to answer the business questions that we've got. And again, we'll do this from within the Generative AI section. Select Create Agent, give the agent a name. In this case, I've called it simply Transport Agent. I then need to select a welcome message to use to welcome users that are going to use the agent. So I'm going to put a basic message here that basically says, "Hi, how can I help you with your transport related questions?" We then need to select the knowledge base that we just created. So I'll select Transport KB and make sure that automatically create an endpoint for this agent is created so that we can actually interact with the agent. Now the agent has been created, we can actually test the agent. What I will say is the way that I'm going to test the agent is using the OCI console. This isn't the way that in the real world users would interact with the service. This is really used as a sandpit to test that the agent works correctly and to make any specific tweaks to the configuration. In the real world, you use the API endpoint to create an application that would interact with the agent to help answer end users' questions. So now we'll go to step 3, which is to test the agent. So we'll hit Launch Chat, which enables us to fire some questions at the agent that we've just created. So I'll select the specific agent, which is Transport Agent, and also the automatically created endpoint. You'll see it provides a welcome message that we created when creating the agent, and I can then type a message. So my first question will be, how do we plan to decarbonise transport? This will use the data that we uploaded to the storage bucket in the first step, along with a large language model to provide a contextually rich response. And here we can say it's provided a really nice succinct summary of the information that we have And it also includes citations to the documents that have been referenced to help answer this question, which makes life a little bit easier. It is actually possible to open these documents directly from the citations too, should you wish to do some further exploration into the information within it. I'll then ask it a follow-up question. In this specific case, how will this affect Birmingham? Again, it will go off, review the documentation and provide information that is specific to Birmingham. As you can see here, there's some data that's been pulled specifically from the LLM in terms of defining what Birmingham is, but then it also drills into the details of specifically how the policy will affect Birmingham, including some additional citations. Finally, I will ask it a generic question, which is what are the current challenges within the UK transport infrastructure? Again, it'll go off, search the content that we've got and use the LLM to provide a nice succinct response that includes citations to areas of the content that's been provided as part of the response. Again, as I've touched upon, in this specific case, I've used fairly generic public-facing policy documentation. In the real world, this would be our internal HR policies, guidance, instructions that employees would find beneficial, having an agent for to help simplify and save them time to get answers to their most business critical important questions.